Hello there! Long time no see. In today's video I want to show you the project that I was working on for some time already, and it is nuxt-security. Nuxt-security is a security module for Nuxt that help you build more secure web applications. It is based on the concept of OWASP Top 10 as well as Helmet, Basic Auth, and it also comes with several different functionalities that I wanted to show you in this video. Let's jump in. Okay, now into the code and documentation section of this video. As I mentioned, security module for Nuxt is based on OWASP Top 10 and Helmet. And if you are not familiar with the concept of OWASP Top 10, it is a list of common web application security risks, such as injection, broken authentication, or cross-site scripting. So this module, because of the fact that it's based on this OWASP Top 10 list, helps you secure your application against these top 10 web application security risks. And in terms of Helmet, if you are familiar with Express.js, there was a middleware called Helmet Express, and this middleware by default was setting certain response headers to your web application, such as these ones listed here, in a form or with the values that were considered as more secure than the default ones. So by using Helmet, you are automatically making your application a bit more secure. So nuxt-security does both of these things automatically for you. So we have those security headers set the same way as Helmet was doing it for Express.js, but we have them here in Nuxt. We also have hidden X powered by header, because in Nuxt 3 you are getting this header by default with a value Nuxt, and it is not considered as very secure. You also get some middlewares that help you or help your application be more secure. And what I mean by that is that you have request size limiter, rate limiter, XSS, so cross-site scripting validation, and you also have allowed HTTP methods and CORS. So CORS is the same middleware, or is based on the same middleware as Helmet. So you had Helmet for Express.js, now you have nuxt-security, and in CORS you also had a separate middleware for Express.js, and now you can use nuxt-security for that. But coming back to those middlewares like request size limiter, what it does, it will help you or help your application handle the situation when, for example, someone will send a file through your website that is overly big. So this middleware will automatically reject such a request. Same for rate limiter. If, for example, someone is doing too many requests onto your website, it will be automatically banned. Also, but last but not least, we also have the basic auth support. So if you want to support or secure one of your applications or certain routes with basic auth, you can do this with nuxt-security. So let's get started and let's see what are the instructions to install this module. So we have a very simple method or command to install it, yarn add nuxt-security or npm or pnpm, depending on the package manager that you are using. I have generated a simple Nuxt-free website, simple Nuxt-free application, and you can see it right here. It doesn't have any other dependencies than just Nuxt. So let's install right now this nuxt-security. And in the meantime, let's just check what is the next step here. So we need to just register modules with nuxt-security here. But before we do that, I want to show you the difference in terms of the response headers as well as some values that are set automatically for you to make your app more secure. So right now what I will do before I will add this new module to my modules array, I will just go yarn dev. And in here we will open it, so localhost 3000. So we have hello world application. And if we inspect this website and we go to network and just reload once again, here, this localhost document, if we inspect the response headers, we have X powered by Nuxt and some headers here as well. And what will happen when we will add the modules here, or this certain nuxt-security module, is that once we refresh the page and see the localhost, in here you will have much more headers. You won't have this X powered by because it's hidden, as I mentioned, because of security reasons. As well, you will have different response headers, the same as the ones that you are using in Express.js application by using Helmet.js. So this is the first functionality of the module, but we have many more. We have middlewares for request size, rate limiter, cross-site validation, course, allowed methods, and basic auth. Some of those are enabled or disabled by default, so you can check the configuration and the interface for configuring them in here. Apart from the functionality that I will show you in a second, I also wanted to show you the good practices section. In here, what you will have is, apart from just the module itself, how it works and what you can do with it, you will also have some tips and hints on how you can make your application more secure. So for example, we can go to only return what is necessary, to know that it's better to have a full control of what data we are returning. So for example, if we are returning a user object that might contain user password, it's better to map this response so that we are only returning username. Apart from that, we have SLIN security plugins that we can install that will help us scan our application for security risks, access control list, and few more that I highly recommend you to check out. Okay, let's now jump into rate limiter because it's the funniest one to show. If we go to rate limiter, how it works is it will store in memory the IP addresses of the hosts that will try to access your website. So by default, if we check the configuration here and we will go to the not the headers, but rate limiter here, we will see that the value of this middleware, it has this tokens per interval 150 and interval is 1 hour. And what it means is that every hour, if there will be more than 150 requests from the same IP address, they can be let through. However, if there will be 151, we will block this user or this certain IP address. And in order to show it to you, I will add a custom logic to this middleware from my module configuration so that it will be easier to show, because I won't be sending 150 requests. I will just change it to 2, and the interval I will change to, let's say, I think we can leave it in as 1 hour. So let's try to do it. In here, what we'll do is we will say security, and if we go to rate limiter here and we want to create a custom logic for this middleware, we can just copy this object here. Like this. So we have the rate limiter, we have the value, and we have the root. If we set the root to an empty string, it will work as a global middleware. Let's change this to 2 and interval for day, and we can leave fire immediately. This just means that we will write immediately after the tokens per interval. When they will be reached, we will fire this method that will not allow our users or this certain IP address to access our website. So let's just save it and let's see the result here. So right now there is no change. However, if we keep spamming the refresh button, after a certain amount, we will see this error too many requests, 429. And this was caused by this middleware. But in the default configuration, you won't be able to see it because, as I mentioned, and it's also written in the documentation here, the default configuration for this is 150 tokens, but you are free to modify it the way you want. So let's just go to basic auth and let's just do something similar here. So the basic auth will look like this. I will copy it and paste instead of this rate limiter. And let's say that I want this secret root. So we will create pages and we will create, let's call them secret view. And in app.view here, instead of hello world, we will show next page. Oh, let's have it in a div like this, and next page. And in pages, we will also have index.view that will be template. And here we'll have div and let's say hello world, the same content as we had previously. And the secret will have template div super secret, just like this. So for now, I will comment it and let's see how it looks like here. So we have the hello world, and if we go to secret, we have the super secret website or page. So right now, let's add this to here. We have basic auth and root will be /secret. And we want this basic auth to be name test and pass test. This is not secure, but in your application, you should use environment variables, or environment variables should be the safest one. We can also add some custom message if we want. Let's save it and let's see what happens when we try to access the secret. And I don't think we need this right now. We get this basic auth and we need to pass the certain data here. So it will test and test. And it's correct, so we can access this certain root. It can also be global if we set this root here to just empty string. And that will be it for today's video and the nuxt-security as well. Make sure to check it out on GitHub and let me know what next functionalities you would like me to develop, and let's build more secure websites together.